Hello, hello, hello. I want to make a video with the baby dog in the garden. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. We absolutely made a paradise out of this amazing, amazing Garden Eden. It's a beautiful, beautiful English laurel. And the sun is behind me, shining an ET spaceship into the camera lens with outer dimensional characteristics. Absolutely like it. It looks brilliant. Absolutely love this. That's the sun, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to damage the camera lens, but it looks so nice. I like it. Oh, yeah. The blue god is on the side of Donald Trump. And that is the truth, okay? The blue god is on the side of every good Samaritan, myself included. So, and there is the baby dog. Yes, there he is. It looks nice. We got a tomato plant. Paul got one yesterday. Tomato plant. And then we have these amazing chives growing there, onions that grew on their own. That onion we already used I would say 9/10 of the onion that Paul cut all off. And then Paul said, but looks like the onion still wants to grow. So I put the rest in the pot, and there the onion recovered and grew really, really tall. Tall, rubbery chives, really nice. And then I have 4 of the purple, light blue purple rosies coming out right now. This is very, very, very nice. Very awesome. Awesome. And those white flowers over there are called morning glory. And they are mildly hallucinogenic. And there is the manroot growing in the apple tree. I don't know if the camera can see this. There is the manroot, cucumber pickle ball with spikes on it that is growing there. Those are growing all the way into the apple tree, and then they're growing fruits right next to the apples from the apple tree. But the apple tree doesn't mind. So the apple tree is very, very kind and generous with the space that he shares with all the other plants. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the political situation right now. Donald Trump is amazing. Donald Trump won that debate, which obviously, winning that debate with Joe Biden is probably the easiest that Donald Trump has ever done in his entire life, right? I mean, he's had to deal with some hard knuckle people like Chris Cuomo and stuff like that, and those other snarky type of journalists that came after him and so on, the same ones that went after Bill Clinton. The corporate shysters that they always go after the good Samaritans. So, but it was obviously a piece of cake yesterday for Donald Trump. It's like most people were laughing about this. It was really, really funny. at the end, I said to Paul, I kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden. I really do. And Paul said he does not feel sorry for Joe Biden. He said Joe Biden is a hunter. Yeah, he's a total jerk. He's a callous sociopath, psychopath. He would press the button anytime. He called his sons Hunter and Bo and Hunter. I mean, who does that? Only a psychopath, right? I mean, terrible, absolutely terrible. He's always been on the side of the mafia, of the corporate agenda. He's always been on the side of corruption, callousness, lies. Only a liar calls a good person a liar. It's obvious, So, oh my goodness. So, I mean, and then he thinks the debate went well. Let's see. Well, if he thinks the debate went well for him, he should just look at the numbers, like, what I see so far is like between 95 and 98% of the public thinks that Donald Trump indeed won that debate. So, yeah, I mean, the numbers don't lie, so that's pretty obvious. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, just open your eyes and you can see, right? You can see the truth for what it is. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. The sad truth is that Joe Biden is now ready for the convalescent home. It's a corporate convalescent home, of course. A special corporate convalescent home. I mean, they probably feed him caviar and something I would never eat, actually. It's just horrible. I don't know what someone in the chat room said. They feed him adrenochrome. Oh my gosh. Yes, I must agree with that. That sounds about right. I don't think Joe Biden would shy away from anything to whatever make his brain work better or make him younger or get a kick out of something or have some kind of hallucinogenic extra whatever adrenaline rush or adrenochrome, So it's a mix between adrenaline and oxygenation. It's an oxygenated adrenaline molecule. That's what I read so far. I read this already like a while back, a couple of months ago. I came across that in the evening, which was not good. Oh, there's a hummingbird. That is so sweet. Oh my God. Oh, I love you. Oh yes. Oh, they make these little chipping sounds. Very, very sweet. Like ticking, some kind of clicking sound they make. Very, very fun. Very, very cute. So I still have coughing going on, but it's getting better. So it's definitely getting a lot better. What happened is I breathed in the dust from the grass clippings that were stored in the larger container, and I have to keep repeating this for anyone who lives green. Don't store grass clippings in a larger container where it's compacted and then where it doesn't even breathe, so where it doesn't even get air. on it, because that's when the mold grows. And that mold, when that mold becomes a powder and you breathe that in, man, that really is, that really causes some real serious lung problems. And it actually caused me fever also. After a couple of days breathing that dust in, I got a fever and I had to lie down. I was like, those were real heavy flu symptoms, like a real serious type of flu virus or something. But I think it was not a virus. It was from the grass mold, which has a similar effect, actually, on the lungs and the bronchial area, and which causes a similar reaction from the immune system, like an overreaction, actually. So there are all these dangers in the world that we need to look out for and avoid. It's very important. Yeah. So the political situation right now is really, really pivotal. It really is. I mean, like never before, actually. Like never before. So my message goes out there for anyone who cares about this country, the United States, who lives here, who has their main residence here, who loves this country, who loves their animals, the farmers, people with horses like Martha Stewart. I'm sure Martha Stewart is on the side of Donald Trump. I'm sure of that. So, of course, because she's highly intelligent and she cares, and she knows that all of this is very dangerous right now. What's going on? She has these amazing draft horses. All the living beings in this country depend on Donald Trump coming back into the White House. Okay? That's the truth. This is not some kind of cutesy child talk or something. This is the truth. This is a fact. Okay? I have the camera guard. That looks like my thumb, but it's not. It's the camera guard that is shaped in a. They didn't do this right, so because part of that camera guard is sticking over the lens, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. Maybe I'll switch this and put the other camera guard on one of these days, but this one is pink and I like the way it looks. So, but anyway, it is a really, really, it's a really serious and very pivotal and very frightening and dangerous situation right now in the United States, because the mafia is behind the Biden administration. They're running Biden. They're also running Obama. They're running Harris and Rice. They're running all of these people, but those people think they're running things, but they're not. But it's like one instance running the other instance that runs the other instance that runs the other instance. Okay, that's kind of like how it works. That way, the instance all the way on the top can stay behind the scene, right? Those are the players behind the scenes that, if the pawns are on the very bottom of this pyramid, if they knew who they're actually working for, they would be very, very surprised, because it's those very people that they're against, Just to make this very crystal clear, the very ponds on the bottom are the Muslim refugees that are coming in, that are doing the dirty work for the people all the way on the top. They think they're working for someone like Rice or Obama or Harris, right? That they identify themselves as Muslim apologists or whatever, No, they're working for the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds are Jewish, okay? They're 100% Jewish. I like Jewish people, but the people that are the recruits from Afghanistan and Iraq and so on, they don't know they're working for the very people that they do not like. Right? And I'm not taking sides in this war or in this Cold War or in this feud that has been going on for thousands of years. I'm not taking any sides. I don't like anyone who's violent. I don't like anyone who's oppressive. I don't like anyone who runs a country behind the scenes and cashes in on people's ignorance. Right? I don't like those. I don't like the ones that the recruits either. Okay? I don't like any of them. That's a high percentage on this planet, actually. Okay. No, I want nothing to do with people that are callous, that are oppressing others. And even if they oppress violent people, and then someone said a long time ago in a chat room, I don't know, it was like 10 years or more ago, I was complaining about injustice and all of that, and corporate injustice. Someone said, why are you guys so upset about this? Let's use these dumb people that are getting those corporate people elected. Yet let's use those dumb people. They can clean our toilets. Okay? So that's kind of like the Warren Buffett approach, like, if others are fearful, he's greedy, and he's fearful when others are greedy. So it's kind of like going in that direction, like the corporate opportunist. So the people that always see their opportunity and they don't care whether it's on cost of someone. I care, even if they are doing this on cost of a total jerk, or even if they do it on cost of a Muslim recruit that's doing the dirty work for the Rothschilds, who does some violent acts or gets rid of a good Samaritan, and then they can blame it on just one single individual jihadist, right? No, that person was groomed to do it. And this happens all the time. Okay. I wonder who threw Ivana Trump, the mother of Ivanka Trump. I wonder who threw Ivana Trump down the stairs. Okay, so first they'll cover it all up, right? It was just an accident. But if someone would dig deeper and find out that it was murder, then they will say, oh no, that was just a jihadist, right? He somehow, through coincidence, found her address and did that. No, trust me, when it comes to those kind of things, there are no coincidences. Okay, this is all planned. They have their chess moves planned, 100, 200 chess moves into the future, with all kinds of variations, with all kinds of, if this happens, then that will be executed, or then that will be recruited or whatever. That's how they're functioning. Okay. They're cunning and callous. They make people suffer. Okay. The Rothschilds and also the weapon industry and the medical industry, the pharma industry, they're all together in one boat. Okay. This is one corporate hand-washing. Nobody cares what happens to the others, to an entire demographic. What happens to the middle class people that work their whole lives to finally buy their $200,000 dream house. They don't even dare to dream any further than that. While in the meantime, the corporatists and their political players and their collaborators, they buy their $2 million homes and more. Okay? The people all the way on the top buy $50 million homes. They have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. I mean, they can buy $1 billion home property with everything. They probably do. But Bill Gates probably does. But it's not declared publicly because he wouldn't want people to know that. That would make people mad. So no, there's whatever you hear in this like Forbes magazine, the list of the richest people, those are not the richest people. Those are just publicly declared the richest people. Who knows what Bill Gates actually has? He's obviously now in the public eye and they are estimating his wealth, but whatever they're estimating is just what he allows them to estimate. Who knows what else he has in his Swiss bank accounts and so on. I mean, worldwide assets and wealth and gold and platinum and silver deposits, diamond deposits, real estate, land, agricultural land in massive amounts. Okay, so I'm guessing now, but I know that he has massive amounts of agricultural land. And so he invests in whatever keeps him in power, in political power. And I'm sure he's one of the string holders behind the scenes. I'm sure he is. And there are many others that we don't even know about. And that's what's going on. This is obvious. And those are the people they're playing chess with us. They're using us as pawn figures, the pawns. The pawns on the chessboard are the little short guys, that are standing in the front row. So they're the front runners. They're giving their bodies to save the king behind them and the queen. Okay. And that's very much how politics function. Okay. This is the same. I think that's why chess is such, or has been already for thousands of years. Who knows how old that game is. Right? That's why it has been so popular, and people really enjoy that. It's there's another kind of more like a child type of version of it called Monopoly. But chess is very much like this. It's just disguised as more intellectual. That's all it is. So always think like 100, 200 chess moves ahead. I mean, there are professional chess players that are not corporate, but the corporate people, I'm sure they're all interested in chess, and it's sort of like to train the brain in this direction. And also that guy Axelrod, that advisor to Barack Obama. That guy is the total Machiavellian opportunist, cunning, highly intelligent. It's always about, here's another opportunity, for him to make a lot of money. If it's on cost of others, if he thinks a little bit ahead, what this does, all of that it causes division and internal wars in this country, that it makes people even more feeling unempowered. That's what Friedrich Nietzsche is writing about in his book. Friedrich Nietzsche kind of foresaw already what's happening today. Back in the 1800s, he foresaw all of this. He said it's gonna go in that direction, for sure. That the corporatists, that they're gonna be using and utilizing people's psychology, people's mind states of feeling victimized. People that dwell on feeling victimized, they're going to be used by the corporate agenda for that. But they're not going to hate those string holders. No, they're going to hate the people that the string holders tell them to hate. That's what's going on. And this entire George Floyd situation was a corporate chess move. Trust me on this, okay? Candace Owens has made a documentary film about this. I highly recommend to people to watch that, okay? She has done some real brave investigative journalism on this situation, and this is also safer for her to do this, obviously, and she will get much more credibility from those very people that are being victimized by the corporate agenda than someone like me would get. Or that's obvious, for obvious reasons, right? So they will see her as a role model for their own demographic, and she definitely is. So George Floyd was completely set up. He was used for this. He was used for this division creation. Okay. He himself was engaged. He was girlfriend, boyfriend with a white woman that he called his mama. Okay. A very sweet, kind white woman. They were together probably for years, many years. They loved each other. George Floyd was a very sweet person. Very kind, sweet. Just got mixed up with wrong people also that offered him drugs here and there, and who knows, or offered this or that, lured him into things. This is all deliberate. This was all deliberately done. He himself wrote in his diary that he felt like they were coming for him. Okay, he could tell. I feel infinitely sad for what happened to George Floyd. The police officer, he was just doing his job. He was not even in any way putting George Floyd in danger. In any way. He was just restraining him. And it was made to look like he was struggling to breathe or something. What happened is that he was very quickly brought to the hospital, he was arrested, and then he was brought to the hospital, and he was not even, I don't think he was in any way at risk because of the grip that the police officer had him, and there were several police officers that had to hold him because that made him mad, of course. The sudden raid. And the drug dealer was that was a corporate collaborator. I could tell. When I saw that drug dealer that was brought to the court, I could clearly see that guy's a collaborator. He was paid for this, to set George Floyd up in this situation. They set the whole thing up. They know how to maneuver these kind of things. They know how to bring George Floyd to this particular place where those particular police officers are, and they know how to sick people against each other. They know how to play out people's already existing frustrations, and then they make this into something that looks much, much worse than it actually was. George Floyd was drugged by that drug dealer. It was the drugs that made him weaker and struggle, and why he was brought to the hospital. And then in the hospital, the nurses there finished him off with fentanyl. And then they would publicize this. The police officer, the Nazi, whatever. They will blame him for it. They will frame him for it. So that they can create a nationwide division. Make the division much, much wider than it ever was before. They use these type of things, and through doing that, they will then come, they create the so-called artificially created problem, and as Alex Jones and David Icke said, they create the problem, and then they will bring in their solution, in quotation marks, which is not a solution, which is making things even worse and worse and worse, and makes things even more inflamed and suffering and all of that. So they brought in Black Lives Matter. They created that. That was created by the corporate agenda, by the stringholders. The people running it were Middle Eastern men, recruits. Okay? The pawns all the way on the bottom were the ones that they completely used for that, to play out their scenario of violence and division in order to recruit people on the side of the Democratic Party. That's what it was. That's the whole thing. It was, people were made to suffer and die and recruited, and they didn't even know they were recruited. They didn't even know they were played like pawns on the chessboard. All of that suffering and horror and hardship for animals and humans. Whole forests burned up because of this. Okay. Now that's what you can call evil. Okay. That is what's evil. No, baby dog. No. Baby dog, no. No, babe. Baby dog, no. 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 Baby dog's bored. So now that was caused by the string holders, which is the corporate agenda, the Rothschilds, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Eli Lilly, pharma industry, medical industry. Yes, okay. Be safe, okay, and lock the door. Paul cannot even use his voice because he's that paranoid. Whatever. That's going overboard. If he's that paranoid, he shouldn't even be in my life, because I'm obviously not hiding myself. Because I think it is absolutely vitally important for every one of us to show ourselves publicly and talk about these things and not shy away, not hide. I can't put the gun on people's heads with that, of course, and I'd never force anyone to do this, because obviously some people are terrified, and there's no way I can expect people like, I'm not gonna like you if you don't do this. Of course I love you no matter what, but it is more like it's a moral urgency. It's more like an appeal, like a call to the world to consider speaking out, to consider making videos about these things that bother them, not just politically, but psychologically also. Because if everyone started to talk about the issues, their own issues, my personal private issues are basically just, they're almost like a reflection of, it's like a mirror of some sort of society itself. All of our problems that we're ashamed of and so on, they are caused by something. Okay. My mental illness is caused by the way my parents treated me. That's the truth. I'm not going to be hung up on this and beat the drum for the rest of my life and say, oh, now this gives me the right to be in the victim slave morality mind state for the rest of my life, and I can just blame everything on them. That's what the government wants the pawns to do. Right? I'm not going to do that, obviously. So, no. I'm working on myself. I'm empowering myself. I am on the healing path. Okay, so I love myself. I am the mother to myself that I never had. And I want other people to do that too. And you can do it. You can pull yourself up on your own bootstraps. Okay, so you can pull yourself up through an inner drive, through an inner power, energy. Okay, you have energy. Anyone who's alive is alive because of this energy. Okay, so don't let your head hang down and think that, oh, this is all over my head, this is way too difficult, or this is, the corporate agenda, or whatever, the government, the mafia, and they're beating us into the ground. They want us to be ashamed. No, don't let them do that. You don't have to let them do that. You don't have to let some woke asshole bully you into an opinion that doesn't feel right, obviously, you know. Don't let anyone coerce you or bully you with anything. Stand up tall, chin up. Stand up for your right to breathe clean air, which Donald Trump is all for and working for us. He brought it out as one of the points, the talking points last night. He said that during his 4 years, he created better air, literally created better air in the United States, and even that obviously has an effect on the whole planet, than all the previous administrations. Donald Trump signed an animal rights bill into effect that nobody before him signed, that was on the table all along. Donald Trump comes in office and signs it because he believes in animal rights, in animal welfare, in the well-being of animals, farm animals, and all beings, and all people, all humans. Animals are people too. Donald Trump believes in all of this. Okay. He's right on board. So I just want people to know this, set the record straight here. Okay. So when you hear slander, don't be so fast to believe it, particularly the people in Europe. You have been bombarded with political, misleading information. You have been bombarded with complete fake news and propaganda. That's a fact, okay? And we here in the United States too, of course. But it's even worse in Europe. I know this because I'm from Germany and I had contact to my family up until about a year ago. So that's when it all ended. My brother, I said it before, my brother completely, how do I say it? Like the mafia, you know, my brother is like the mafia, just like the mafia. My brother falsified our inheritance all into his name, and because I'm not there, there's nothing I can do. The lawyer I had wasn't working for me, wasn't helping me at all. I have reason to believe, I have good reason to believe that he murdered my mother and even probably my dad. But I don't know, I haven't heard from them anymore since then. I tried to alert my other family members, aunts and so on. They did not want to get involved. What can I do? They didn't even want to help me and go there and create a video conversation so that I can talk to my dad without my brother there or without my brother intercepting. So it went so bad that the lawyer, at least he tried to call my dad, and a housekeeper told him that my dad's not allowed to talk to anyone without my brother there. So all of this is incredibly criminal. Okay. This is a breach of law because he thought he has some really lousy people there that are helping him with this. Obviously, they don't even know the current law. They used to have something, I think up until 1992 or something. They had something where people could take custody over someone, a family member. and get power of attorney just like this very easily, and then do things on behalf of that person, and even in a very tyrannical way, so where the other person had no more rights at all. That was changed somewhere in the 90s. Okay. They're not allowed to just do what my brother did. But anyway, it's a long story. It's a very sad story. I cried rivers over this. But my life goes on, whatever happens, whatever horrible people are coming into my life to cause me problems, I cry my way through. I meditate. I make the best out of my current situation, and I move forward. Okay? I'm not going to let any of that smash me down into the ground. Okay? Not going to. It will look like it when I'm crying. It will really look like I'm smashed on the ground when I'm crying. I cry really pitifully, and sometimes for hours. But that's the healing process, okay? And that's why I say we need therapy help centers where we can help people with this, so that people understand that when you are crying, you are self-loving. You are on the healing trajectory, okay? You are not crushed. People who don't cry, people who take drugs, people who escape those feelings, those are the ones that are being crushed by a certain situation. Someone who becomes an alcoholic. No, that's a symptom of being crushed, of letting the situation crush them. It's obviously not the solution. Okay? The solution is being completely sober. Completely sober. Donald Trump is completely sober. He believes in sobriety. That's the person I vote for. That's the person I want to run my country, or the whole planet. My planet, planet Earth. That's the real leader. That's the real role model. That's the person who can think clearly. Donald Trump is a miracle, in my view. How can anyone withstand that kind of situation? I could see Hillary Clinton was not doing very well under that kind of situation. Pressure and so on. The corporate agenda thought that she would do something for the environment and the animals because Bill Clinton and Al Gore have done something for the animals and the environment. Not enough. None of these people have done enough. But at least they did enough because they promised it and they were under a lot of pressure. But Hillary Clinton was struggling really badly with all that corporate antagonism against her, because they were afraid that she would do something for the world to make the world better, because the corporate establishment does not want anyone to do something for the world, because doing something for the forest would mean the logging industry has to shut down, right? Or to the most part, to 95% at least. Or, there's always an industry that will always put their financial interest above the well-being of those living beings that are involved in that situation, that are going to be suffering from their enterprises, from their exploitation. Okay. They will always put their financial gain over the other living beings. Almost all of those industries and corporations. So corporate. There are some good corporations too, like Tesla. Okay, so very few good corporations. The majority of the corporations worldwide are corrupt, callous, cold-hearted, and criminal. That's what I see. And we need to see the world for what it is, okay? And not kid ourselves on it. Not be in some kind of dream world and let the corruption just run its course. The least you can do is get informed and stand up for the good Samaritans. Okay. Peace and love.